Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna look at the King's Indian Defense, a super fun and tricky opening that can catch your opponents off guard. I'll break this video into a few chapters. First, I'll tell you about the structure and how to actually play it. Then I'll show you a game using this opening. So without any delay, let's begin. The King's Indian Defense is primarily played against d4, but it's such a flexible opening that you can also use it against e4, c4, knight f3, and a few other moves. So first, let's look at d4. You would usually continue with knight f6, let's say c4, d6, knight c3, g6, e4, bishop g7, knight f3, castle. This is the main position you'll typically get when playing the King's Indian Defense. And the idea behind it is to give up the center to your opponent at first, then later on you can attack it back with moves like e5, c5, and that's basically the core plan of the King's Indian Defense. So let's see an example how you could continue with this position. Let's say your opponent plays bishop d3. You can play directly e5 now. Why? Because if he takes, you can take, and you may think that we are a pawn down, but no, we can simply take this one. Now we can attack the knight here, and we have got our pawn back. And this position, even though it seems like it's equal because we have equal number of pawns and material, but it is slightly better for black because we have our king castled and our pieces are pretty active compared to white. So that's why e5 is an option here. And here, if black takes, and after we take, if we play something like castle, we can even pin this knight. And if it doesn't castle, let's say if we place h3, we can also continue with knight c6, and our game would continue. We have a pretty good position as black. The position is basically open. It's a really comfortable position for black. Another line which could go is d5, which leads to a more closed variation. But what you could do is you could play bishop g4 to pinning the knight here. Let's say h3, and you can even take this knight, and after let's say queen takes, you can play knight d7, and we are developing our knights. We'll get this knight on c5. If you play something like b4, we can attack with a5, and we have a lot of ideas such as that. One common idea in the King's Indian Defense is the king side attack. After let's say he closes the center, we could potentially play knight e8 and f5, making an attack on the king side. Let's say we play a5, and so let's say if he castles now, we can play something like knight e8. Now this looks like a passive move, but it allows us to play f5 and attack the king side. If you try something like bishop g5, we can play f6. If he goes bishop h4, you can play g5. If he goes bishop g3, now you can even play h5. After h5, you can play h4, and we are again attacking the king side. Now this, according to the engine, is not so better for black. It's almost equal. But if you look from black's perspective, this is really comfortable. And if I just flip the board from white side, it looks like black is just attacking us, and white will have a hard time defending. The idea is that we are attacking the king side. So if something like h3, we first will get our pieces involved to the attack, and later we'll strike. So that's one idea. Another idea is that we can also play c5, which is a king queen side attack. That could be typically done after, let's say, knight b7, castle, and instead of e5, we play c5. Now here also black may block it, but now we can play rook b8, a6, and stuff like that. One idea could be like, let's say knight e8. Let's say he goes rook e1, and we can also go for knight e5, because now once we remove the knight, we can see that our bishop developed. I mean, the bishop opened, and now knight e5 was possible. So that's like there are different kinds of ideas that can be played with c5 too. I personally like the e5 variation. It just gives us the opportunity to attack the king side. So that's one of the ideas. Now let's look at a game. This is a very famous game played by Hikaru Nakamura with black pieces, and he shows the power of the king's Indian defense. So let's begin. So one important thing you need to note is that if he plays e4, then you must not play knight f6 right away because he can easily play e5 and kick away your knight. So first you need to play d6. So after d6, let's say if he plays d4, now we can play knight f6, knight c3, g6, knight f3, bishop g7, and again we have come to the same structure, and now you can normally continue with castle and all the other variations that I showed you earlier. Now let's look at one of the games played by Hikaru Nakamura in the King's Indian Defense, where he played against Boris Gelfand. So the game starts with d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, knight f3, castle. So till here, it's all normal, and we have already discussed this before. So bishop e2, e5, castle, knight c6. Now here, white plays d5 to kick away the knight. So knight e7. So knight d2, knight e8. So we are again following the idea of kingside attack with f5. So Boris Gelfand plays b4, f5, c5. So white is doing the queenside attack and black is trying to do the kingside attack. Knight f6, f3, f4. So he's basically locking this f file with f4. So he'll now slowly play g5, g4 and continue. So after knight c4, he plays g5 exactly, a4, knight g6. So Hikaru is bringing the pieces into the attack. All the pieces are well developed, and white is trying to do the queenside attack. So bishop a3, rook f7. Yes, b5. D captures c5, bishop captures c5, h5. So black is going all into the attack. a5, white is trying again the queen side. g4, b6, g3, and king h1. This game is called Icarus, one of the most immortal games for the reasons you'll see now. So after king h1, Icarus played bishop a. So first he's trying to exchange the bishops because this bishop is really powerful in the queen side and may cause trouble later. d6, a captures b6, bishop g1, and the bishop. Vicar also wanted to exchange the bishops because the black colored bishop also acts as a defensive material for white. So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to exchange. Now knight h4. Okay, rook e1, and now Hikaru played the first brilliant move. Knight captures g2. Now, why did he play it? Because in the game, white played d captures c7. If he had played king g2, the idea of Hikaru would have been to play g7, and you can see that black is very stuck because here now we can open up the king side. Our queen would easily get in, and this looks very scary for white. Now, according to the engine, it says that this position is equal. But if I just flip the board, this position does not look equal at all. It looks like black is just gonna attack and destroy white in this position. But if played perfectly, it's a draw, according to the engine. But of course, as humans, we cannot play perfectly. So hence, the first mistake of the game, D captures C7. Knight captures e1, the second brilliant move, giving away this queen entirely. Why? Because if you take, we have g2 checkmate. So queen takes e1, now g2 check. Nice. King takes g2, rook g7 check, king h1, bishop h3, sacrificing the queen one more time. Because if you take, we simply have bishop g2 checkmate. So bishop f1, queen d3, sacrificing it again. So if you take this, there's again checkmate. If you take the bishop, we have queen f3. So after knight takes e5, bishop takes f1 again, sacrificing the queen. If you take, we have again bishop g2 checkmate. So after queen takes, queen c3. So this position is far better for black because he is simply a rook up. So rook c1, queen takes e5. So after queen here, queen promotion takes, queen e6. Boris Gelfand resigned because he is simply a piece down and anyway lose the game later. So yeah, that's one of the best games of Icarbo, I would say, in the King's Indian defense. So yeah, so the basic idea was simply to attack in the king side. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and if you all did, then make sure to like the video. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe and comment down below if you all learned something new. And till then, I'll see you next time.